When Helping Your Children Hurts You. A Mother's Guide to Financial Boundaries, Emotional Clarity, and Quiet Freedom. By the time most mothers reach their 60s, they've done their fair share of giving. They've given their youth, their energy, their sleep. They've folded endless laundry, wiped fevered brows, and stood quietly in kitchens, calculating how to stretch dinner across 3 plates when there really was only enough for 2. They've put themselves second for years. But here's a truth many mothers learn the hard way. Sometimes the love you give becomes the love that breaks you. Not because giving is wrong, but because giving without limits, without rest, without respect, without balance, becomes a slow kind of erosion.
It's just temporary, Mom. It's just temporary, Mom. At first, it sounds innocent. Your grown child calls you during a hard time. They lost their job. Daycare is too expensive. Rent is overdue. They just need a little help. You say yes. Of course you do. You're a mother. And maybe you say yes again the next month. And again. And again. Before you realize it, your retirement savings are going towards someone else's bills. You're babysitting full-time when you thought you'd be traveling. You're cooking, cleaning, and picking up after a family that isn't yours anymore. And slowly, something shifts. They stop saying thank you. They start assuming. And you, the one who's supposed to finally rest, find yourself more tired than ever.
Case study: Linda's story. Linda was 63 from Ohio and had a modest pension after retiring from her job as a school secretary. Her son and daughter-in-law moved in for a few weeks when their lease fell through. 3 years later, Linda was still paying the utility bills, still cooking for 5, still watching her grandson all day while they looked for work. She never complained. Until the day she fainted from exhaustion and ended up in the hospital, alone. No one visited. No one paid the bill. Later, her son said, "Well, you've always been the strong one, Mom. I didn't think you'd need help." That's the danger of always being strong. People forget you're human. Why this happens and why it hurts so deeply. For many mothers, the line between love and sacrifice gets blurred, especially in families where mothers were never taught to say no, self-worth was tied to being needed, guilt was used to keep them compliant. Add financial dependency from adult children, and the emotional weight becomes overwhelming. You start to feel like a bank account with arms, always giving, never refilled. You start to feel invisible. Warning signs you're giving too much. You feel resentful but stay quiet to avoid making things worse. Your adult children expect help but don't offer support in return. You've postponed your own needs, dental visits, travel plans, even medications, because your money went to them. You feel obligated to help, not joyful to help. You're afraid to say no because you worry they'll stop loving you. If any of these resonate, pause, not to blame yourself, but to recognize this isn't sustainable. What financial boundaries look like for mothers. Setting boundaries doesn't mean cutting your children off. It means building relationships based on mutual respect, not quiet resentment. Here are ways to start. 1. Have the honest talk. Sweetheart, I love you, but I can't keep supporting you financially. I have to think about my future too. Say it gently but clearly, and then stop talking. Let the silence carry your truth. 2. Don't apologize for taking care of yourself. You've spent decades giving. Taking a step back now isn't selfish, it's survival. Your health, your peace, and your independence matter. They're not optional. They're not indulgent. They're sacred. 3. Offer help with limits. Instead of, I'll cover your bills, try, I can help with $200 this month, but after that, you'll need to find another solution. Boundaries can be compassionate, but they must be firm.
But they'll be mad at me. Yes, they might be. For a while. Especially if they've grown used to your silent generosity. But you're not raising children anymore. You're interacting with adults. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do is let them stand on their own legs, even if they stumble at first. Remember, your job was to prepare them for life, not protect them from it forever. The power of saying enough. One mother shared, I kept giving because I was afraid of losing them. But eventually, I realized I was losing myself. And that's the heartbreak many older mothers live with, quietly, behind smiles. So here's the truth you might need to hear today. You are not selfish for wanting peace. You are not cold for saying no. You are not less of a mother for choosing rest. You are simply a woman who has loved enough and now deserves to be loved in return.
What happens when you set boundaries? Often, something surprising. Your children learn to cope. They get stronger. They begin to see you not just as a resource, but as a person. You reclaim your mornings. You get back to your garden, your books, your slow coffee. And for the first time in years, you get to breathe again. Closing words for the mothers who have given everything. Dear Mama, you don't have to prove your love with your bank account. You don't have to sacrifice yourself to keep a seat at the table. You belong. You matter. And you've earned the right to rest. So if today you find yourself tired, broke, overwhelmed, please hear this. You can help your children without losing yourself. And sometimes the bravest thing a mother can do is say, no more. I love you, but I need to love me too. And that is enough.